Am I wrong for asking my mother-in-law to leave our wedding because her perfume was bothering me? I just got married to the love of my life. I've usually gotten along pretty well with my new in-laws. Usually my mother-in-law doesn't wear perfume, or at least not any that I've been able to notice. My wife had her mother be her matron of honor, so she was standing with us up front. It was a small area, and with her right next to my wife, I was able to smell her perfume. Shortly after the ceremony started, I started to get watery eyes and sniffles. Our ceremony was supposed to only last 20 minutes max, so I thought I would just push through unless it got worse. It didn't get worse until after the ceremony when my new mother-in-law hugged me. Itchy eyes, itchy throat, and headache got added to the mix. My wife asked if I was alright, and I told her I think her mother's perfume was getting to me. We had someone go get some allergy medication. I took one, but it didn't do a whole lot, and I started to feel out of it. We get to the reception, and we started to do our group photos, and I couldn't do photos with my mother-in-law in them. I told my wife we needed to figure something out because my symptoms weren't letting up and I didn't want to be out of it from taking more meds for our reception or have to leave our own reception. My wife asked her mother to keep some distance between us to try to make it easier for me. It didn't really. That perfume followed her like a damn cloud. Then my wife asked her mom to try and wash wherever she dabbed her perfume, but mother-in-law said she hadn't dabbed it on. She spritzed herself so it was on her dress too. At that point they said they were out of ideas and there wasn't anything we could do. I said there was one more thing and suggested that maybe mother-in-law leave to change her dress and then come back, or even just go to a nearby thrift store or something and get any kind of clothes. I'd even pay for them. I asked mother-in-law to either please to do that or leave and we'd visit later with cake because it was getting to the point that I would have to leave. My wife and mother-in-law objected to this because my wife wanted her mom there the whole time. I understand the day was big for my wife and she wanted her mother there and I wanted her there too, but I wasn't able to enjoy my own wedding. I wound up sitting outside with some of my family and groomsmen. I started to feel better and when I did, my wife came out and asked if I'd be going back inside. I told her no, so long as her mom was still there and hadn't changed. The night ended with my wife spending our wedding night at her parents' house. Am I the asshole for asking my mother-in-law to leave?
Today I fucked up by confusing meat thermometers with tire pressure gauges. I recently started a new job at a trucking company. I've been looking at the tires and thinking they're kinda low, and I've been using this thing they gave me to try and check the tire pressure. They gave me 2 of them. For 2 weeks, I hear air come out of the tires when I try to use them, and the needle never moves. I ask and I'm told you need to do it a certain way to get it to work. No dice. Oh well, I'll just ask them about it next time I'm in the shop. This morning, I walk up into the maintenance shop and ask them why this thing isn't working. Did the company give me a broken tire pressure gauge? He pulls me aside and says it's not working because it's a thermometer. So if you ever feel like you did something stupid and feel bad about it, refer back to here. Mind you, I only justify my reasoning with why would a trucking company give out a cooking thermometer to new employees? Nah, maybe I was unlucky enough to be given 2 bad gauges. Today I fucked up by telling my friend that I don't think she would be faithful in a relationship. Bit of a backstory. Me, male 25, and this girl, female 23, dated briefly early last year while at university. We weren't right for each other and she called it off, but I still had feelings for her. It was tough because she is quite open about her previous relationships and would talk about them often, which hurt while having feelings for her. We ended up good friends, but every now and then we would get drunk and sleep together. But she was sometimes prompt after saying it didn't mean anything and we were just friends. Over the summer break, she went back home and I started to have feelings for her again, but was too afraid to talk to her about it. Fast forward till today, I've been sick with COVID and have been isolating at home for over a week and we called tonight. She was 2 bottles down on wine, so quite drunk. We chat for a bit and confess my feelings and she takes it really well. She appreciated that I thought well of her. She's attractive, really comfortable to be around, and really intelligent. She was flattered but very nicely said she didn't feel the same way, which was nice, reassuring me that I can gently let go of her. Cool, that went well, but then for whatever reason, I want us to be honest about how in our times drinking together, she would become quite flirty and would hit on other guys regularly and would often share details about her many one-night stands over the year. She started getting uncomfortable and said, "What's your point? What are you trying to say?" I started to feel like this was a bad idea, but in my sick, foggy haze, I stupidly kept going and said something along the lines of, hypothetically speaking, if we did get together, I'm not sure if you would be faithful, and proceeded to share an anecdote about how she dared to take her pants off at a party and took a photo of her pants around her ankles and shared it in our group chat. As you can imagine, she was speechless and abruptly ended the call, and it struck me how much of an asshole I had just been. I quickly messaged her saying I was really sorry and that what I had said was cruel. A few moments later, she had called back and swore at me and said she couldn't believe what I had said and that it was so sexist to assume when a woman does flirt, she's a slut. She said she didn't want to talk to me for a while and I said I was sorry, at a loss of what to say, and she hung up again. So now I feel like shit that I could treat a friend so horrible. I obviously will respect her wishes for space, but also want to give her a sincere apology.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she can find somewhere else to stay if she can't take seeing my daughter? Disclaimer, this is not my story. I, 27 female, have a 5-year-old foster daughter named May. She has been with me for around 8 months now and I love her to pieces. I'm considering adopting her. My sister, 31 female Kate, recently suffered a miscarriage and it took a real toll on her marriage. She's getting divorced from her husband and has been staying with me because she can't bear to live with him right now. Kate, however, has been a horrible guest to May. Every time May asks her for something or talks to her, Kate will burst into tears or yell at her. Kate is a great sister to me and I understand that she's grieving, but that doesn't mean she can lash out at May for simply existing. I've told her off multiple times for yelling at May, but it all came to a head when I confronted her this morning. May had asked Kate if she could move so she could get a snack from the cabinet. Kate snapped at her and said, "Wait for a damn second, brat." I overheard from the living room and made Kate move out of the way and told her to apologize to May. Kate burst into tears saying that she just couldn't take having May here as a reminder of what she's lost. I told her she's a grown adult and should know better than to bully a child for her own problems. I told May to go to her room real quick and Kate and I got into a huge argument. I ended up telling her if she couldn't take seeing my foster daughter, she could find somewhere else to stay. She left to our parents' house and told them everything. I've been getting messages from her all day now. She told me I'm a horrible sister and said that she was grieving and asked how I could put someone else's kid over hers. I think that's a disgusting thing to send to anyone, and personally, I think she's being insensitive to me and my daughter's relationship. According to my mom, she's been crying for hours and won't stop talking about how I'm such a monster for not thinking of her feelings. I just don't think she has a right to yell at my kid because she lost hers. Am I the asshole for telling my friend's girlfriend I thought she was a little fat? Disclaimer, this is not my story. My best friend Nick, 22 male, his girlfriend Marta, 22 female, and I, 21 male, were hanging out in the basement after smoking together. She asked him, unprompted, "Babe, do you think I'm fat?" Nick, being the good boyfriend he is, responded, "Of course not, babe." She then turned to me and asked, "Do you think I'm fat?" Now here's the thing, I strive to be an honest person. I would not hesitate to speak my truth because I believe it's almost always better to be frank with people than to tiptoe around how you actually feel. In my experience, avoiding the truth often leads to confusion and or pain. Of course, I don't want to be an asshole, so if I'm going to say something that I think could be taken poorly, I try to be as nice as possible about it. Back to the issue, I don't find Marta very fat. I definitely wouldn't call her obese or anything, but a little chubby, yes. I knew if I told her this directly, she'd probably be upset. So I asked her in response, "Do you want my honest opinion?" She said she did, so I gave it. My exact words were, "I'd like to preface this by saying that it in no way affects how I view you as a person. I don't think that weight is a good measure of who someone is. That being said, a little bit, yes." She got really quiet and it was awkward. I was about to leave anyway, so I went home soon after. Later, Nick texted me saying that I really upset Marta and that I owe her an apology for what I said. I don't think I did anything wrong. The way I see it, she asked for my honest opinion and I gave it. Just because she didn't like what my opinion was doesn't mean I was wrong to give it. Fishing for compliments doesn't always go the way you want it to. I've gone to other friends about this to get their opinion and they've been pretty split about it. So am I the asshole?
Today I fucked up and almost killed my girlfriend by accidentally crawling at me like a demon, her words, up our staircase on all fours. I swear I can't explain. Hey guys, it's about 3 a.m. here in Norway at the moment, and I just fucked up a bit. We're borrowing my girlfriend's father's house for the weekend while he and his partner are away. It's me, my girl, and our 1-year-old son. The son was put down to sleep around 8 p.m. and my girlfriend went to bed around 11 p.m. About 2 hours ago, around 1 a.m., I went to draw a bath in the tub. I love taking baths at night, and we don't have a tub at home now, so when I get the chance, I go for it. The bathroom is on the second floor of the house, alongside 3 bedrooms, one of them occupied by the kid, and the other by her and me. Once I've tidied up my stuff and find all the light switches, all that remains is to ascend the staircase and lower my pale carcass into the perfectly tempered bath water that calms my nerves and soothes my balls. The thing is, it's a really creaky staircase, like comically so. It sounds like you're violently disintegrating it beneath your feet as you climb it. The noise is insane. Those noises will wake everyone in the house if you don't go about it expertly, and even then you're still making enough noise to garner a contract on your head from the neighbors. My girl is a light sleeper, has trouble sleeping, and really values the sleep she does get. My son is a slightly heavier sleeper, but he's nowhere near my own loudly comatose sleep, and this creaking would shatter any hope of me entering the bath this side of an hour. And did I mention how steep this thing is? Naturally, I use my superior genes, gender, and brain power to concoct an appropriate solution suitable to my ambitions. I figured I'd walk on all fours, to distribute my weight as I went up the stairs